Ready to have a calm and peaceful life with your dog without the stress of those fear-based behaviors? Hi, I'm Tracy, and I've been there, overwhelmed by all the conflicting dog training advice and unsure of what to do next. But now I help dog lovers like you simplify your life with your dog by building confidence naturally, fostering trust, and addressing those fear-based challenges. So, if you're ready, stop chopping those chicken wieners and let's get to it. Well, hello, my dog-loving friend. It is Tracy. Welcome to Beyond Obedience, the podcast. Super duper welcome. If you are brand new, say hey in the comments. There's no comments. It's a podcast.
Yeah, what?
That was a trick right there. That was a trick, my friend. All right. Today on the podcast, we have our special guest in the podcast room. Let's see if she gets it right this time. Please welcome
Paisley.
Yay!
Did I get it right that time? Does that applause mean I got it right?
She did it this time. I'm going to take my headset off so I can actually hear Paisley. So if you are brand new and you've never had a Paisley and Tracy episode, this is a special Q&A segment called Questions You Didn't Even Know You Asked here on the Beyond Obedience podcast. How do we do that? Do we just make up the questions? Sorta.
Well, no.
No, if you're new and you haven't had a chance yet to scoot on over to Facebook and join our free Facebook group, Living Beyond Obedience, when you get there, you will be asked three questions. And we actually read all of the questions. We take note of the questions. It helps Paisley and I to structure our content around things that matter to you. So it is important. And what happens is when we go through them, sometimes we'll just pick out the odd, question here or there, or the statement here or there, and we'll answer that question here on the podcast. So that's what we're doing today. Now, we're being smart because, as Paisley pointed out to me before we hit record, these tend to run long. Quite long. And if you are a member of our student community, you know that my Zooms also run long.
Yeah.
Because I can talk dog. And once I start talking, there may be no stopping. So
yeah, we tell you to block off an hour and a half. You should probably block off like 2 to 3 hours.
Yeah,
for anything that we
do. Before we get started, what are we enjoying for drinks today, Paisley?
I have immunity tea, so I'm not really enjoying it. I'm just getting through it.
Oh, I have an iced coffee, protein iced coffee. I'm getting my protein and my caffeine.
Nice.
All in one shot. All right. So that's what we're going to do today. We might as well just jump. Do we have any other announcements? I don't think we do.
Nothing coming to mind immediately.
Yeah. Let's just jump in. All right. Go ahead, Paisley. Now, let's not give away full names because we didn't ask. We didn't ask if these people wanted their questions talked about. So let's just, first name or anonymous name if you want to. You choose.
It's up to me?
Yeah.
All right. I'll first name.
Okay.
I think.
We're first naming. But for all you know, she made the name up. There we go.
Maybe.
That's how we'll keep it anonymous. But
I just, on the moment, I'll read it and be like, yeah, I'm going to take creative liberty with this one. All right. First off, we have Nicole. Just rescued our first dog a month ago. We want him to feel safe and to learn to the best of his capabilities. He has had no training yet in his life. We struggle with leash manners.
Okay. So, for someone who has just adopted a dog, and it's your very first dog, so that's exciting. I mean, we don't know what kind of dog it is. There was there was nothing else, just that.
Just that's her first.
Her first dog. We don't know what kind of dog it is. Well, you know what? Know something, Nicole? That would be my first thing to tell you, is that let's dive into what kind of dog is this? Not for you to tell me, but for you to figure out everything that you can about this dog. If it's a mixed breed dog, what are the mixes that are in there? If it's, got a lot of characteristics, what are those characteristics? Really start to take this first opportunity to get to know the dog. And getting to know the unique dog, but also getting to know all of those breeds, or if it's one breed, I don't know, but really getting to know that. Paisley and I, quite often when we get these questions, oddly enough, I don't know every single dog breed in the world.
We also don't know the nicknames for every single dog breed.
Yes.
That's what often gets us. We're like, what's a turf?
That's coming up. The reason why we're saying this, because we had to look that up. I'm like, what's a turf? It's the same thing, though. People always, because I use the short term GSD for German Shepherd dog, and a lot of people don't know what a GSD is, right? Because it's only really known within the realm of the people that have those dogs. So, but it's very common for us to kind of like, if we're going to talk about this dog, let's look up this dog. Like, what is the genetic resume of this dog? What are the things that make this dog tick? And the reason why I want you to start there is because when we're talking about having your dog, like shaping this dog to be the best of his capabilities, we want to know what those capabilities are. There's going to be some dogs that are better at some things than others. So let's start there for you. That would be the very first thing that I would say. Then, I know you've had the dog for a month, but honestly, I wouldn't put too much worry into training or even leash stuff, if I'm being honest. First month of having a dog, I would say would be one, getting to know the dog, letting the dog know your expectations. What do you expect for this dog? They need to know survival things like, when do I get fed? When do I get let out? Where's the water at? Where do I sleep? What happens when I do this particular thing? That's going to be happening soon. I will tell you that within the next couple months, your dog's going to go into this testing phase of like, all right, I'm starting to settle in. So what happens when I get on the couch? Do they get upset with that? No? Okay, that must be okay. What happens if I jump on the counter? What happens if I do whatever behavior? And the big thing for that is to not take that personally. That's just your dog's way of figuring out what are the rules here? Like what are the rules? How do I survive in this environment with these humans? So we really want to sort of take a step back from the idea of like, I think for everyone gets a dog and they're like, I got to train the dog. That's their number one objective. Must train dog. But the reality of it is the dog comes into your life not going, I must get trained. That's not how they enter into Humansville. They enter into Humansville feeling like, how do I survive here? What do I need to do? So taking a step back, really getting to know that dog, figuring out your expectations. What do you expect from this dog? What do you dream this dog should be like? And then let's actually put those two things together. Are my expectations within this dog's capabilities? And that's where knowing the breeds and knowing what's in your dog and all that stuff can help you with that. So that's just a little, I mean, I can go on and on about what to do in the very first stages of owning a dog and the things to look out for, but that would be my number one tip, would be to make sure you have your expectations clearly laid out and then making that clear to the dog. What is right and what is wrong, and don't worry about that. As far as struggling with leash manners, what I would highly recommend is taking that pressure off and building trust first. And we would do that with like long lines and safe places like in the backyard and all of that stuff. So that's going to get too in depth if I keep going about that. So let's just stop there.
She can talk forever about puppies.
I will talk. New dogs.
And adolescence.
Yeah.
Yeah. The adolescent stages.
It's a thing. All right.
So ready for the next question?
Yeah. I hope that helps, Nicole.
All right. So moving on
if that's your real name. Winky face.
Nicole, maybe. Moving on to Lauren. I have an 8-month-old turf, as mentioned previously. Retired this year, and he is a major part of my life these days. Trying to find new fun things to do with him. I would like my dog to be able to go with me everywhere, including hiking, walking around the neighborhood, and town. I struggle with prey drive when seeing moving cars. I'm assuming she means the turf struggles with prey drive when seeing moving cars, bikes, etc.
I will say there was a couple of things that confused me when you first read that, because you said I have an 8-month-old turf retired this year. I was like, well, he retired young. Like, he was like,
I think the term is 8 months old. She retired this year.
I've hit my peak at 6 months, and now it's time for retirement.
Those adolescent months were hard. Okay? All the testing.
So, yeah, we get what you're saying, and obviously you're doing some short form here in this, and this wasn't a real question. But, yeah, that kind of made me laugh, because I'm like, he retired early, 8-month-old. But I will say this, great that you're retired, because you have an 8-month-old turf. So, now we did have to look that up, because I was like, turf.
In fairness, I recognized the dog the second I saw it.
Yes.
I was like, oh, yes, this breed.
Yes. So, big thing about them, this breed, is that they're a herding dog, right? They're a herding breed. So, naturally, when you say you struggle with prey drive when you're around moving cars and bikes, etc., that's your dog, right? So, that right there is your dog coming into adolescence. And I will say this to you, Lauren, buckle in, my friend.
Oh. Oh, no.
Buckle in, my friend, because you are in one of the toughest stages. Now, some people will tell me they just breeze through adolescence with their dogs. Paisley, how do you feel about Gunther right now?
Gunther is so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Gunther is our adolescent German Shepherd. So we got similar things going on there, Lauren, because German Shepherds also herders and all of that kind of thing. And he has, if you've been listening to the podcast, you know that Gunther has been just deciding to take off up the hill to eat horse poop.
It's our favorite activity. Yeah.
Hey, let's do that. And if you heard my previous podcast, I actually said I found myself ranting at the fact that he was being an adolescent punk. And why is he being a punk? Well, he was being exactly who he is. You know, he's being exactly who he is. So getting to know that breed, if you haven't, obviously you've probably, you wanted a turf, so I'm sure you know all about them, but getting to know them and their genetic resume and everything that's going on there is really going to help you shape that. And the fact that you're retired now gives you a lot more time to sort of really get to know what's going on. So my suggestion always, when you have a working breed, a smart, energetic working breed like that, would be to try to find a way to let him express those things that he needs to express. If there is a way that you have access to herding clubs where they actually allow the dogs to, like, they teach you and they train the dogs to actually do herding, that would be ideal. Absolutely ideal. Other options for you, of course, would be teamwork stuff like agility, you know, there's also there's different kinds of things. There's lots of different dog sports out there, but that would be my suggestion to you, would be to really sort of focus in on how can we take everything, because believe it or not, when you say you struggle with the prey drive when he's around moving cars and bikes, that's just your dog telling you how brilliant he is. And I know it's frustrating because we don't want him to chase bikes and cars and all of those things. But that's your dog essentially saying, this is who I am and I have this need. So we can take that and put it in the right place. It's much easier for us to say not here than it is to say not ever, right? Not now instead of no, forget it. Because he can't turn that off, right? He cannot turn that off. So taking the opportunity to find herding classes and getting that drive under control, in the sense that I'm going to take that away. not under control, getting that drive to a point where you're a part of it. So now you're engaging the dog and you're getting them to do those things will drastically increase your chances of being able to say not now instead of no, not never.
All right. All right.
Look at how well I'm doing, Paisley.
Mic drop.
Mic drop.
All right. The next one is a biggie.
It's a biggie.
It's a big. Well, on my little phone screen here, it looks like a large paragraph.
Okay. Buckle in.
All right. This one is from Angel, maybe. All right. My newest dog, Apollo, is a retired show dog and still intact. He's an amazing dog, very sociable, and so smart. There is a very large and spacious dog park.
Sorry, what kind of breed? Doesn't say?
It doesn't.
Oh, okay.
Just that he's an amazing dog.
Amazing.
If amazing was a breed, that is Apollo.
Okay.
Yep. There's a very large and spacious dog park that we go to, and when we walk around the field, he always runs up full speed to greet every dog. We love Apollo for that.
Sounds like an Apollo ice.
That's yeah. It just runs with the name, apparently. Most dogs he is fine with, and will either play or they'll sniff each other and move on. You have to be a member at this dog park and pass a behavior with other dogs and people test, so the dogs are all pretty good dogs. Oh, there's entry requirements.
There is. Oh my gosh.
However, there have been a couple of dogs that he has become obsessed with trying to hump, which I would really love to stop. Apollo. Also, there's been a couple of dogs that he starts to growl at when he does go up to them. It seems to be only a couple specific neutered dogs that are just under a year or around a year of age. Doesn't matter how they respond to it either. Other than these issues with only certain dogs, he's darn near perfect.
He's darn near perfect. All right, I love that for Apollo.
I'm curious for this one. If you pass the entry test and then go in and proceed to start humping other dogs, do they frown upon that? Or are they like,
Is anybody there judging it? Being like, your pass has been revoked.
You were unpassed, Apollo.
It's a good question. I'd like to know how that came to be, because, as I say, I've never heard of a dog park that has an entry level requirement. It's a great idea. Don't get me wrong.
I approve of it.
It's a great idea. I will say, though, and that's a great point that Paisley makes, is anybody sort of doing follow-ups, because pack dynamics change on a daily.
Yeah, that's a developing thing.
Yeah, and as dogs develop or as things change, like let's say a dog came in that was previously like a puppy came in, was previously unneutered and then was neutered. Now his chemical scent has changed. I've talked about this a little bit. I don't know if I've talked about it on the podcast, to be honest, but I know I've talked about it in my student communities. I've talked about this idea of intact males versus neutered males, and how we do get some, discrepancies with, not discrepancies, that's not a great word for it, but we do get a little bit of, I'm going to call it spiciness, for lack of a better word, between the neutered males, generally speaking, not towards the males that aren't neutered, but between the neutered males, especially males that are neutered at an earlier age. So many studies coming out now, and I don't want to make this a political? It's not really political, but I don't want to make this a conversation about whether you should or shouldn't castrate your dogs. But I will say that for me personally, my personal opinion is that hormones matter. That opinion was amplified when I hit menopause, and my family would agree with that.
No comment. Okay.
Hormones are important, and they're important for so many things. And so one of the things that I personally witnessed as someone who ran dog socialization groups for a number of years is that there was an increase. So this is slightly anecdotal, but there are actual research studies that of more dogs than what I've seen in my lifetime. But it corroborated.
Corroborates?
What's the word I'm looking for?
I think you have the word. We're just not pronouncing it correctly.
Yeah.
Indeed.
It backs me up. Backs up my anecdotal evidence that dogs that are neutered at an early age, sort of before they mature fully, do have a stronger association or risk factor of having fear aggression issues, because we know testosterone does help dogs manage fear and all of that sort of stuff. All of that being said, I will say this: if you have an intact male that is humping dogs, you should be able to say no to your dog, and your dog listen to you. Okay, that is something that should happen. Now, the way that you work on that is to make sure that your dog respects your no in all other places, and then you have to work on that with the higher distractions of other dogs. So, and I'm saying this as someone who has a 6-month, 7-month, turning 7 months, I guess soon, German Shepherd intact male, who occasionally, when he gets excited playing with his sister Nike, will start humping. And right now, I can just say no and end that. And he does. And I would keep that up with him. So I don't know if you have any other dogs, Angel, if you don't, but I would make sure that we're able to say no to him and have him stop that behavior. Humping isn't an expression of any sort of sexual thing in most cases, especially when we're talking about play and that sort of thing. It's an actual play is always mimicking all of the life skills that dogs needs, and humping is included in that skill set. So when we see dogs humping during playtime, that's not necessarily sexual. That has nothing necessarily to do with the fact that he is intact. And the other side of that is early neutered males, and some neutered males in general, do end up, it changes their chemical scent, and there are some dogs that end up smelling like, I would say, intact females. Again, anecdotally, we saw that with our breeder male, Wellington, who was great, never bothered anybody, but occasionally, do you remember Harley? Do you remember the little doodle Harley?
Oh, yeah.
He, when she came to me with Harley, she said, I don't know what it is. Every dog wants to hump him. And I'm like, that's strange. And it was funny because the first time Wellington was out with him, Wellington went over and started doing the whole flirty, like licking his ears and stuff. And I'm like, he's obviously giving off a chemical scent that is confusing to the males. So that can happen. But what I would say moving forward is you should be able to you should be working towards getting him to off or stop the behavior of humping, because that can lead to, other dogs being offended by that.
And we don't want that in
don't want that.
dog park with entry requirements.
Yeah, we don't want your entry requirements to be revoked. Yeah. I don't know if I answered any. Well, there wasn't really any question. I don't know if I answered anything there, but I hope that helps.
It's probably a situation.
Yeah.
All right, let me scroll down here. So on to our final question here by possibly Anastasia.
If that's your real name.
Maybe.
We're so sneaky.
We are soon to welcome a new puppy into our family, and I'd love to learn everything I can about training and behavior.
Ooh, okay. Well, this is similar to what we said about for Nicole. So,
Circling back.
Now I get to go back and talk about the things I want to talk about. All right. So, does it say that they already have the puppy picked? It's a puppy? What does it say? Tell me again. Sorry, I got excited.
Simply puppy.
It's a puppy.
Yeah. Soon to welcome a new puppy. So.
Okay.
They did not have the puppy at the time of writing this response.
Okay. Maybe they have the puppy by now, though.
Maybe we're late.
Anyway, we're going to answer this question as if you do not have the puppy. So, first and foremost, if you're thinking about adding a puppy to your home, you are going to carefully consider your breed choices. Even if it's a mixed breed, if you're like, we found a lab mix, if we found a shepherd mix, we found a whatever mix, carefully consider your breed. and really dive deep. There's no excuses anymore for not understanding what is required for breeds. Really dive deep into that breed, because I really need people to understand this idea of what the dog is genetically. Most of the frustrations that people have is because with anything, with any kind of relationship, is unmet expectations. That's what causes the biggest frustration with any relationship, whether or not it's relationship with your kids.
Why are you looking at me?
I don't know. I just thought maybe you had some unmet expectations for your mother. Like, I really wish she was taller. So that I could be taller.
I am taller than you, so.
Anyway, with any relationship, the downfall of relationships is unmet expectations. And that is true for dogs and people as well. You have an expectation of what this dog is going to turn out to be. But guess what? Your dog also has an expectation. They have an expectation for you to treat them the way dogs expect to be treated, which isn't how most people treat their dogs. We don't think about the dog. We just think about ourselves and what we want. So taking that time to really research your dog, your breed, figuring out, is this something that, one, if this is what I want for my dog, I want a couch potato dog, I want someone to Netflix and chill with. You're not going to get that with a Belgian Malinois. That's not going to be your life existence. So you're going to get a dog that eats your television. So we don't want that. I want a dog that loves going boating and goes to the cottage. Then let's look at water breeds, all of those things. It sounds simple, but you would be surprised how many people don't actually sit down and go, what do I envision for my life with my dog? What do I want to do with my dog? What are the things that I want to accomplish? Like, what do I want? And then find a breed that fits into that. What they do instead is they have these expectations. They don't really think about it. They get a dog that looks cute, and then nothing matches up, and we have frustration on both ends. So that's my very first thing if you haven't got the dog. And then moving forward, when you get the dog, remember, puppies are different. Like puppies, here's the biggest tip for puppies. I would say this. Okay, the biggest tip for puppies is puppies need a lot more sleep than you think. And most obnoxious puppy behavior, biting, mouthing, jumping, chewing, all of that stuff is caused by the fact that they are overtired. Consider puppies like toddlers. So making sure that they have a routine where they can get undisturbed sleep, and that usually requires a crate, undisturbed sleep for many, many hours a day. That is going to save you tremendously. And then set up proper rhythms where you are like, this is sleep time, this is play time, this is feeding time, this is a little bit of training time, this is sleep time. You run rhythms throughout the day so your puppy gets used to what's expected. And I'll leave it at that.
All right.
There you go.
Mic drop.
Once again, mic drop. All right. I think that's it.
That concludes what we had jotted down.
Wow, what did we end up at? Pretty good? Not too bad. Not too shabby today. We actually kept it at a reasonable
only going on a half hour.
A reasonable pace today.
That's good.
All right. So I think that's it. If you are brand new again and you would like to join the Living Beyond Obedience Facebook group, be sure to answer those questions. You too might be featured unexpectedly on this podcast.
Do we have a note on the questions that says you might get featured on the pod? We should probably put that somewhere.
We will take these questions and put it on a podcast.
Our thing is that we just read them again so that we know that people are a good fit for the community and that they're getting what they need out of the community. But then some days we're like, that's a really interesting situation that we should talk about.
Yeah.
But
other people could benefit from this situation. That's why we're not saying for sure that was the names of the people. Wink, wink. Nudge,
might
nudge.
have been, might not have been.
You know, right? Like if you know, you'd be like, I was on that podcast. You can let us know.
I was featured. I didn't know I was featured.
I didn't know. All right, so my friend, here are some things that you can do to connect with us. Join that Living Beyond Obedience group. If you are someone who is interested in stepping into a deeper, meaningful relationship with your dog, I highly recommend considering joining us over in the Fearless Framework. That is our 12-month online program that helps you become the person that your dog would love to follow. It makes everything about living with dogs so much easier. You can do that by going to beyondobedience.ca/fearless. All of these links will be in the show notes. Anything else, Paisley? There might be a boot camp coming up, but we're not saying it yet.
You just said it.
But we said it. So
You said it.
there could be our boot camp that we love so very much coming up. Maybe.
Comma, maybe.
Maybe. That's coming up soon. We're not going to talk about it just yet.
Except for the fact that she did.
Oh, we did. So keep an eye out for that. Paisley is always spoiling the things about boot camps. That's just who she is.
Simply not the case.
All right, I think that's it, my friend. Listen, if you enjoyed this, can you do us a favor and head on over and give us a 5-star written review in Apple? Really helps push the podcast out to more and more people. If you're on Spotify, leave us a comment. Make sure that you
Yes, that.
subscribe. Those were words. I was doing so well, too. I was like, we almost made it to the end.
Corroborate and subscribe.
And we're not editing any of this. This is real life, my friends. This is stage.
That's what you get out of this podcast. Really genuine.
This is the most authentic podcast you're ever going to listen to, my friend. All right. As always, get out there today, my dog-loving friend, and be the person that your dog thinks you are. Because your dog thinks that you're amazing, and so do I. Have a fantastic day, and we... Paisley. We'll see you in the next episode.
Cheers.
Bye for now. Okay, test. 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3.
Me now?
Yeah.
Testing 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Testing.
Oh, I think I'm coming in way too quiet.
Oh, that's a first.
Testing. Why is it not picking up me? Hold on, let me look.
You're just talking quieter than I am.
Hello!
There you go.